This week on Full Throttle TV, we catch up with rookie sensation Vincent Nobile.
I race a bunch of legends. I grew up watching all these drivers, and I'm just honored to race against them.
Hang out with our old friend Clay Millican.
You know what? I've only been out a few races this year. Hearts Plus is brand new to NHRA Full Throttle Drag Racing, but it's getting busier and busier, and I love it.
And even head to the baseball diamond with Matt Hagan.
Yeah, I think that everybody wants to tell you how to throw that ball out there, you know, because they all want to do it themselves.
That's all ahead on the latest edition of Full Throttle TV. Race fans, welcome back to the Deep South, where this week the NHRA brings its high-speed thrills and thunderous roars to the Atlanta drag strip for the 2011 Southern Nationals. I'm your host, Abby Tubbs. Today, Full Throttle Energy Drink and FTTV will give you an all-access pass to some of the hottest storylines and biggest names in NHRA drag racing. We'll begin our show by catching up with Top Fuel funny man, Clay Millican. Clay's charming personality has been dearly missed at a few drag strips across the country the past 2 seasons, as he is one of the many talented drivers still looking for a consistent ride. Recently, I sat down with the charismatic Top Fueler to talk about his return to the sport and a whole lot more. Let's have a look. We're joined on our Full Throttle TV set with Top Fuel driver and old FTTV favorite, Clay Millican. Clay, thanks for joining us today.
I am just so glad to be here. You know what? I've only been out a few races this year. Hearts Plus is brand new to NHRA Full Throttle Drag Racing, but it's getting busier and busier, and I love it.
So how does it feel to be out here in Atlanta and back behind a Top Fuel car?
It's awesome. I mean, you know what? I'm a Southern boy, in case you didn't pick that up through the accent or whatever, but you know, Atlanta's fun. It's one of the older races we go to. I've been to a final round here. I got beat by Corey Mack. I'm horrible with statistics, but he beat me a few years ago, and I would love to get to the final again and turn the wind light on, and I love this place.
Well, you know you're good buddies with Antron Brown. So have you been hanging out with him lately?
Me and the brother, man, we always be hanging out, you know. We have our little spiel we do, you know, we talk about all kinds of crazy things. He's a good dude, and I had him on my television show. It hasn't aired yet, but it'll be coming up June 25th, MTV2, Burnout, the Ultimate Drag Race Challenge. Antron's on there, Jason Lyon's on there, and a guy that, not exactly a drag racer, a guy named Kerry Hart, motocross freestyle guy.
Pink's husband.
How did that? Yes, Pink's husband. He's a good dude, and tune in. It's going to be a cool show. I mean, it's a good way to introduce Full Throttle Drag Racing to a different audience.
You know, Clay, we love interviewing you because you have such a great personality. You're always excited to be out here at the track. We know you're serious when you get in your car, but you have an outgoing personality. A lot of fans like that. Would you like to see more of that out here with some of the other drivers?
All of the guys out here are, for the most part, good guys, and I just like everybody to be themselves. And for me, you know, the crew guys, they say I got a perma grin. Well, yeah, I'm a happy guy all the time for the most part, but hey, I drive a race car for a living.
My first car, I think, was a 1973 Pontiac GTO, black, bad to the bone. I think that thing was the fastest hot rod I'd ever driven. Stole it off my dad's car lot, basically. I handpicked that one.
Well, first car I ever got was a 1992 Bimini Blue Mustang GT. Had a white leather interior with blue piping. It was awesome.
When I was 16, the first car that I ever had, my grandma gave me her 1978 El Camino, and it was put a camper shell on it, a bunch of carpet in the back.
First car was a 1963 Corvair Spider with the turbocharger on it.
My first car, I can't even tell you, it was a hoopty. Everybody knows what a hoopty is, right? I don't even want to say the name of it, I feel so embarrassed.
My first car cost me $2,300, and it was a Dodge Daytona. I don't remember what year it was, but wasn't anything all that trick or special, but it was mine.
My first car is a 2009 Dodge Challenger SRT. I got it when I graduated high school, and I love it to death. It's my baby.
My first street car was a Ford. It was a GT Falcon in Australia. It was a muscle car. It had a 351 Cleveland. It was a stick, 4-speed top loader, 9-inch.
My first car was actually a truck. I am from the country. I'm from Tennessee, so yes, it was a truck. 1963 Dodge with a 318, 3-speed on the column. I tore the roads up and the backyard and a few trees along the way in the backyard. That was my first ride.
Still ahead, we catch up with rookie sensation Vincent Nobile.
They turned on ESPN. They actually saw me, and actually one of my professors saw me win in Houston, and he was pretty impressed. It was pretty neat.
There's been no shortage of young guns in all 4 pro classes this season. And our very own stat man, Lewis Bloom, has been watching the rising stars of the NHRA very closely. And here's his take on the sport's young guns. LB, take it away.
Hey, thanks, Abby. This week, a little change in Full Throttle TV. We're going to talk about the youth movement in drag racing, and no better place to be than the pro stock pits of young Vincent Nobile, who in 19 became the youngest pro stock winner ever just 2 weeks ago at Royal Purple Raceway, just outside of Houston. Of course, we're in Atlanta Dragway this weekend. You want to talk about some of the young winners in the sport? How about Del Worsham, the hottest guy in Top Fuel? Well, he won his first funny car race at the age of 21 back here in 1991. In Top Fuel, you have to go back to 1972 when Jeb Allen won the Summer Nationals at my home track in Englishtown when he was just 18 and 1 month old. And then, of course, in Pro Stock Motorcycle, we've talked about Ellie, the champion, being the youngest champion, but the youngest race winner, his brother, GT Tongwood, who won at St. Louis when he was just 18 and 2 months old. Other youngsters to watch now in NHRA Full Throttle Drag Racing: Buddy Perkinson driving the Ford for Jim Cunningham, Hector Ronner Jr., but I like to think about the future. Later this season, Leah Pruitt-LeDuc driving for Roger Burgess, no doubt in Pro Mod, but maybe even a funny car. And then, of course, the big one, and that would be Courtney Force driving for Team Force. We'll see if she makes her debut later on this year. You gotta love the youth movement in drag racing. Of course, Vincent Nobile, the highlight so far this season, and just 19 years old. He won Pro Stock at Houston 2 weeks ago, but we'll see how it takes us for the rest of the year. We'll see if some of the youngsters step up here in Full Throttle Drag Racing.
We are joined today by Pro Stock driver Vincent Nobile, who is here for the first time on our Full Throttle TV set. Vincent, welcome.
Oh, glad to be here. Thank you.
Well, let me be the first one from the Full Throttle TV crew to say congratulations on your Wally win in Houston. How did that feel?
Undescribable. Really, really great feeling to be out here racing against these guys. A bunch of great people. I race a bunch of legends. I grew up watching all these drivers, and I'm just honored to race against them.
What did your team and you do after you won?
After we won, believe it or not, there was no partying going on. We just went out to dinner, then went to bed at 9:30. I had to catch an early flight home.
So, do you have a certain place in your house that you are stashing your Wally right now?
Wally's staying close by. He's right next to my bed every night.
You gonna sleep with him every night, holding on to him?
First night I slept with him.
How is that like going to school every day and all your classmates and they see you? Have you been recognized at all by any of them?
By a few. They turned on ESPN. They actually saw me, and actually one of my professors saw me win in Houston, and he was pretty impressed. It was pretty neat.
So not only have you won a Wally this season, but you've also made it to the final round 3 times. So we're not talking Rookie of the Year here. We may be talking a legitimate chance at the Full Throttle Championship. How would that sound?
Oh, that would sound amazing. I mean, we're just taking it one race at a time. Believe it or not, we weren't even supposed to do the whole 22 races, and we started doing well, and my team owner, Nick Mitsos from Mountain View Tire, he said, "You're doing a great job, so we're going to do all 22 races." And now we're just going to take it race by race and hopefully finish in the top 10 and then maybe even win the championship.
Stay right there, because in a few minutes, we catch up with funny car driver Mike Neff.
We have had some good moments this year, some good races, and we feel very fortunate. It's always exciting to be at the top of the leaderboard.
In drag racing, it's usually the drivers that get all the glory, but many a times it's the crew chiefs that really make these cars go. Our very own stat man, Lewis Bloom, decided to take a closer look at some of the best tuners in the business.
Thanks, Abby. This week we're going to take a different approach on Full Throttle TV. Not the drivers who drive the cars, but how about the people who tune them, like last year's champion in Top Fuel, the crew chief for Larry Dixon, Jason McCulloch, who's getting ready for a big race day here in Atlanta. Of course, he comes under the Alan Johnson Alan Abbey banner, and Alan Johnson, one incredible crew chief when it comes to Top Fuel. When you consider his success, the championships, 98 wins so far that he has been associated with in Top Fuel. Of course, Del Worsham right now, the hottest car in drag racing. And I bring up Alan Johnson because his first ever start in Top Fuel was right here at this race with his late brother Blaine back in 1994. Some of the other crew chiefs, Tim Richards back in the fold, looking to help out Ron Capps, who has been struggling. How about Jimmy Prock, quickest man of all time at any distance, one of the best in the business. He won the championship with Robert Height. Some of the other rising stars in terms of crew chiefs, Tommy Delago, who tuned Matt Hagan to that 401 pass at Maple Grove last year and a runner-up in the championship. Corey McLenithan's tuner from last season, Todd Okahara, assisted by Phil Schuler. Quickest run of last year, quickest run of all time at 3.75 seconds. And of course, one of the guys that I really like, Brian Karate. Brian, one of the many tuners, uses a former driver as a co-crew chief, and that's the very talented Mark Oswald. When you talk about crew chiefs, you have to consider the drivers who still drive the race car and tune the race car, a rare thing in modern day full throttle drag racing. But how about Tim Wilkerson? He drives and tunes. And of course, the one who won the championship with John Force last year back in the cockpit, Mike Neff, who has already run 2 races this season. We always talk about the drivers who step on the gas, but one thing about the fuel cars, it's the crew chiefs who make them go down the quarter mile, like last year's champion crew chief Jason McCulloch for Alan Abbey and Larry Dixon.
John Force Racing funny car driver Mike Neff is off to a great start this year. After tuning John Force's car to a 2010 Full Throttle Championship, Neff is finally back into the driver's seat of a funny car. Recently, I sat down with Mike to talk about his transition into driving and a whole lot more. Let's check it out. I'm joined on our Full Throttle TV set by funny car driver Mike Neff. Mike, thanks for joining us. You've had a lot of success this season. How's it feel?
Well, thank you. It's great to be here, and yeah, we have had some good moments this year, some good races, and we feel very fortunate. It's always exciting to be at the top of the leaderboard.
Well, you got to 2 final rounds this season. You won at the Gator Nationals, and I heard that win was a really big win for you and John Force Racing. How come?
It was, to be tuning and driving this year, and coming off what a great year we had last year with John drive, and I just wanted to, I knew the car ran good. We got the same team, great group of guys, so I knew they could all do their job, so it was just a matter of me wanting to be able to do my job driving. So to get that win, that was a huge confidence builder.
Not only are you the driver of a car, but you're also a crew chief. So is your mind going full throttle all of the time?
Pretty much. Most of the time when we're at the racetrack, yeah, it gets pretty hectic, especially on Sundays when they're trying to rush you. A lot of stuff going real quick, so definitely gets the adrenaline going.
So you got one hell of a car this season that you're running. You're in your boss's old car that obviously won the Full Throttle Championship last year. Is it going to win it for you this year?
Oh, I hope so. Car is definitely a big part of it, and fortunately for me that I am in that same car as last year with my same group of guys who build it and put it together, so that's been a big key to us doing as well as we have so far. So yeah, I'll try to keep it going and see what happens.
Still ahead, we take a trip off the track and onto the ball field with funny car driver Matt Hagan.
My goal is to get it over there, just lob it in there and see what I can do. Just try to keep it off the ground.
DSR star Matt Hagan is one heck of a funny car driver. However, as we found out last season, he's no ace when it comes to taking the pitcher's mound.
We'll figure it out real quick tonight, where I'm either going to be a hero or a zero, so hopefully I'm on the hero side of things.
Tell you what, I can't do what you can do. We're going to see if you can do what I can do.
Catch it. Bounce it, man.
Good work.
Thanks, brother. Thank you.
Matt had a chance at redemption this year when he was asked to throw out yet another opening pitch at Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. Let's see how Hagan did this year.
That was a really cool opportunity. I thought I'd never get the chance to throw out a first pitch again, so to really have this opportunity to do it again is just, it blows me away.
First of all, do not bounce it before the plate. If you do that again like you did at the Giants game, I'm not going to hang out with you anymore.
Yeah, I think that everybody wants to tell you how to throw that ball out there, you know, because they all want to do it themselves.
And you just gotta throw it straight down that alleyway and pretend that the catcher's mitt is John Force.
I could have swore I heard him say, "See if you can catch this." So first thing I told him is, make sure you don't say that up there.
But most importantly, whatever you do, don't go out there and throw like a girl.
I never really thought that these type of opportunities would come up, you know, so I'm taking advantage of them. I'm really having fun with it, and I just can't wait to get back out there.
I'm just like so ecstatic to be here, be hanging out with Tony, just have some fun, and don't get any better than this.
We were out practicing today, and he was probably throwing 105, maybe 102. I can't really judge, not being a catcher.
Yeah, well, you know, he might fudge on it. Probably more like 110, but no. My goal is to get it over there, just lob it in there and see what I can do. Just try to keep it off the ground, you know.
Got your ball right here, get acquainted.
He'll be fine. He's a big cowboy, man. He'll be able to throw the ball, no problem at all. Plus, last time he bounced it, so, you know, he's been practicing.
I walked up there on the field, I was looking at the Jumbotron. I mean, that thing is as big as my house, so couldn't help but look at up there a little bit. I got my heart racing, and it was cool to go up there, stand up there, look at that pro player and throw that ball to him. So, you know, I'm glad I didn't bounce it, and there's no dirt on this ball, so it'll be the second one I add to my collection, and I just had a great time, man. I mean, great hospitality here, and, you know, hopefully the Astros win.
You're rocking with Ron. Hey guys, this is Ron Capps. Welcome to Rockin' with Ron. Today, we're going to talk about my favorite thing, music. Another great band out right now, a band called The Kills. And let me tell you something. I'd love to tell you who they sound like or what they even come close to, but they don't. And that's what's great about this. We're talking two people in the band, and you just have to go buy it. Trust me when I tell you, go buy it, The Kills. Well, trying to pin music down to what my teammates are listening to, Jack Beckman definitely got to be a classic rock guy. I see him walk around the staging lane with his iPod on, his head kind of moving a little bit, and I'm picturing maybe a little bit of Fleetwood Mac, Boston, a little BTO maybe. You know, then, of course, there's the stuff that you can't go wrong with. I mean, I know when I turn my iPod on, I can always go to Appetite with Guns N' Roses, anything Motley Crue. Old school Motley Crue for me is all good. Dawkins, I've been listening to a lot lately, and another great one for me is anything Neil Young. There you have it. Once again, that's what I'm listening to lately. Keep an eye out here on Full Throttle TV, and I'll let you know what I'm rocking out to.
Top fueler Sean Langdon is still looking for that first ever Wally win, and our cameras are continuing to follow all the action. Here's what happened last week on our special FTTV feature, Hard Work and Dedication.
Pretty excited to be out here at the 4-Wide Nationals. Got 32,000 horsepower going down the track at one time. It's a pretty good rumble down there.
Now they're all set. Little pop, little bang. Who's firing? Who's falling back? How about this? It's going to be Sean Langdon and Larry Dixon running for the money.
We're getting ready to head into the final out here at the 4-Wide Nationals in Charlotte. We've made some good runs today, which is a good thing for us. So, you know, hats off to these guys, all the crew guys, man. They've been getting this thing going.
They start 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all in. And that's going to be a great final round. Who's going to win it? Top end winner is Del Worsham.
We got the car going in the right direction. We made some solid runs this weekend. So we're just going to hold our heads up and hopefully improve in the points and keep up there in the top 5 and, you know, put ourselves in a good position for these next couple races to get a win and get ourselves up even further in the points.
And now here's our latest installment of hard work and dedication.
It's Del Worsham, your points leader. Rolls to the starting line to meet up with that Sean Langdon. So Del Worsham for the Al-Anabi team. He's won 3 of the first 5 races of the season. One of the major stories of this year. Langdon, Lucas Oil, Mad TV. Can you say upset? Sean Langdon with a stunning round 1 upset. Del Worsham, the points leader, out of here in round 1.
That might go down as upset of the year in my book. And we're just excited to beat a team like that. Del's been on fire.
I hope I'm here for his first win, and I just hope we go a little bit more rounds.
We really think she could be a good luck charm. We'll find out today.
Sean Langdon, the Lucas Oil Products team. And the Matco Tools car of Antron Brown. So the Matco Tools team with Brian Karate and Mark Oswald, the Brain Trust, they walk away. The same over there for the Lucas Oil team with John Stewart and his gang, putting the red, white, and blue of Forrest Lucas on the starting line. It's going to be Antron Brown. He goes 3.88.0 to get the win.
The sport's so humbling, you know, you make such a good run and then you go back and make such a bad run.
I'm obviously not going to any more races.
She may not think she's good luck, but she is. It's always good to have someone behind you that keeps pushing you, and you know, that's why I enjoy her coming out.
If you missed any part of our show, you can always catch full episodes online at NHRA.com. For more Full Throttle TV, follow us on Twitter. And don't forget to check out extra scenes and exclusive content on our Facebook page.